Hey, okay, so I wanted to take a minute to address the elephant in the room. So what if you are not comfortable yet doing in-person paint parties, okay? So I want to talk about 3 reasons why you can still do online paint parties. Now, a couple reasons why people might not want to do the in-person. Maybe you're not ready to leave your bubble yet. Maybe you still feel uncomfortable about going out there. So as you come on, again, I don't want to start, again, I want this to be a very, very kind conversation, and I want this to be something where we respect one another. Okay, so just putting that out there because we are addressing the elephant in the room. So I get this a lot. I have people all over the world that I teach how to do paint parties. We actually have paint party headquarters open just for a couple of days. So if you want to be a part of it, we open the doors twice a year. So if you want to learn everything about paint parties from online to in-person to all of that, we're doing that right now. So go ahead and check out the link. We'll have it in the description. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Karen. But what I wanted to address real quick is that, some people are not comfortable yet doing in-person. Now, the world, everybody is living in a different location, okay? There's some parts of the world that are still totally shut down. For example, in Australia, I think they're going on 18 months now. I just talked to Chris earlier, in Canada, and they had 3 shutdowns this past year, and she thinks she's about to go on her 4th. So she's comfortable doing all of hers online. So let me know in the comments if you are doing yours mostly online or if you're doing paint parties in person. Now, I'm in Texas, so we've been open for quite a while. And so we've been doing our parties in person. I know another lady, Tammy, we talked to her yesterday from Ohio. She does wineries all over. So it's really about your comfort level. So I wanted to take just 5 minutes or less. Hey, Deb. Hey, Tanya. And let me know if you are doing let me know where your comfort level is. Is your comfort level where you're doing in-person parties, or is your comfort level where you're still doing online parties only? And here's why I wanted to address this elephant in the room is because I think in this time where we are not really sure, we don't know what next year looks like. A lot of times, we've had these plans, and I think that this past 18 months has really taught us that we have to diversify. We have to be ready to pivot our business. And that's why in Paint Party Headquarters, we teach you how to do art kits. We teach you how to do online, because you don't know where your paint party adventure is going to lead you. Linda's saying online in Los Angeles. Deborah, she's in North Carolina and she's in person. Karen is in person but would love to do online. So we have all of those. And Karen's like, I only leave my bubble for craft stores, LOL, online, but one coming up for a quilt retreat. So I want us to approach this with respect for each other. Everybody is viewing the world through their lenses. And what I mean by that is everybody has a different belief system. Everybody has, some of us are like, and again, some of us are like, there's been times in my life where this has happened, or I've had a near-death experience or something like that. And so they're out there, or they're like, I can't do this, or maybe they're more of an adventurous spirit, or maybe they're, and I know sometimes people can, being in different areas can judge, or people, we are so good at judging each other. So good at judging each other. But what I want you to hear, and the reason I'm addressing this topic is because you can learn how to do online paint parties. If you feel like you're not ready to leave your bubble, if you're loving this online world and you want to just grow, maybe you have this idea, this long-term goal of growing this online craft craft and business, that is totally fine. If you feel like you want to be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you're not a mom, but you have been staying at home, and maybe you're an introvert like my husband, and you're like, oh, I kind of like this, right? Whatever the reason is, maybe you just don't feel comfortable, leaving. We have family that, they for over a year and a half, they ordered all their groceries online. And then my dad, who's had a heart transplant, who's raised me a little bit different, he's like, I've got to live my life. Like he's living every moment because he knows he had a second chance. So he's like, I've got to do everything. Like he's building all kinds of like wood birdhouses and cutouts and just doing everything he can because he's just having so much fun, and he can't not live every single moment. But then there's other people that live through a lens where it is appropriate. Like they want to stay at home. They feel they need to stay at home, and that is okay. But what I want you to hear from this is, whatever choice you make, you're making from your circumstances, from the way you feel, from what you're hearing from, we're hearing, from news, we have to do what we feel is right for us. We have to do what we feel is right for us. And then we have to be really careful about how we judge the world, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's worldview is different. Everybody has, a different way they view things. And I just want us to come from a place of kindness, from a place of being, like we don't know everybody's background. We don't know, if they had this happen in their life. And so to them, maybe as crazy as it sounds, death doesn't have that sting, or it doesn't have that fear. Like, I think about, have you ever seen the movie Free Solo? It's a documentary. Anyway, there is this incredible rock climber. And in this documentary, I highly recommend it. It's called Free Solo. He climbs the El Capitan, which is like this massive mountain. He climbs this massive mountain without any harnesses and any ropes. And seriously, like after being on a mountain and crying my eyes out in a full-blown panic attack, I could easily go, well, he's an idiot. He's gonna, risk his life. Oh my gosh, how could he even do that? And they did studies. In this documentary, they did studies on his brain. And the part of fear on his brain, like, they did all the light up studies. I don't know all of the scientific stuff that happens. But when he did that, the part where we have the fear did not light up, like did not have that. And I thought, oh my gosh, like how cool is it that God created every single one of us different? He created each of us for a purpose. He created each and every one of us different. And for some reason, in this documentary, Free Solo, write it down. I promise you should watch it. It is so good. He doesn't have that fear. Like he has no fear. Like, so when he's up there scaling this this mountain where I would be traumatized, totally traumatized, he's like going for it. He's like, why is everybody scared? What's the big deal? Like, it's just a thing, but he could fall to his death in any moment. So I know this is kind of, it's a weird situation. Like, it's a hard situation to talk about. Yeah, it's called Free Solo. Please watch it. It's so good. But the reason I'm trying to bring this in, and I don't even know if this talk is even helping. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense, because sometimes I really struggle because I don't want you to take what I'm saying and hear it in a negative way. All I want to do is show you that if you want to teach paint parties, you don't have to do it in person if you don't feel comfortable. You don't. It is okay. It is okay. There are many, many, many ways to do this. You can do this online. You can do this, in the comfort of your own home. You can do this however you want. And that's the beauty of this. But we have to remember that if we have different fears, like some of you may hike, and that hike that I was crying like crazy may seem silly to you, where somebody else may look at me and go, oh my gosh, Heidi just went on a trip with her family, and may look at me and think, oh my gosh, I'm crazy. Like, I left my house. And so I want us to not judge each other for the way we're choosing to live our life in the midst of something that we don't know how to navigate. And so I wanted to really just take a minute to remind each other to show kindness. We don't know the person that is choosing to stay at home, that they, maybe they have lost somebody really close to them. And so the idea of them leaving the house right now feels traumatizing. I'm not going to judge that. That is their choice, right? We don't know maybe the person that's posting on Facebook that they're with their family, or they're, on a trip, or maybe they even went on an airplane, which I know a lot of people have chosen not to do airplanes. Went on an airplane. We don't know that maybe they had 5 years ago a near-death experience where they're like, I'm going to live every single moment. Like my dad, who's had a heart transplant, who will be the first person to be going places because, he knows he has a second chance. And he knows that life is short, that it was almost taken from him. So when I talk to you about this stuff, I know I'm addressing a big elephant in the room. And I know that some people online could take this the wrong way that I'm saying this, but I really, really want you to know that, as you're starting your paint party business, this can be however you want to do it. It can be online, where you're never in the room with people, right? Or it can be in person, or you can ship stuff out. Like, there are many, many ways to do this. And I just hope this helps some of y'all. And I just hope that it helps when we go from a place of feeling like we need to judge everybody for their decisions, to just take it back and just take a deep breath and go, we don't know their situation. We're not looking at the world through their eyes, through their circumstances. And let's just give each other a little bit of grace. Take a deep breath, give each other a little bit of grace, because we're all going through this together. And we're all trying to figure it out. And we're all still trying to put food on our table. And we're all still wanting to do what we love. So I hope this helps you. And let me know in the comments what you think. All right, I'll talk to you soon.